Hello friends, we'll now see about the next topic, compound interest. Now in our lower classes we have learnt about simple interest. Now what is interest? Now when you borrow some money, say from a bank you borrow 10,000 rupees. This 10,000 rupees is called as the principal. Now when you repay the 10,000 rupees, that when you repay the loan, when you repay the 10,000 rupees to the bank, you repay it along with an extra money. That is called as the interest. You repay the amount with which is nothing but principal plus interest. That is 10,000 plus an interest. This interest is charged in the 10%. Rate of interest is 10%, 5%. Like that it varies. So the amount is paid as principal plus interest. I hope you understood this. Now we will learn about compound interest. What is compound interest? Before going into compound interest, let us see one example here. Now I have borrowed 100 rupees. So how will I write? My principal is 100 rupees and rate of interest is 10%. So on 100 rupees, if 10% interest is charged, how much it is? It is 10 rupees. That is on 100 rupees. If I charge 10% interest, then the interest is 10 rupees. So at the end of 1 year, I will pay 110 rupees. That is 100 principal plus 10 interest, 110 rupees. Now in the case of compound interest also, the first year remains the same. I have borrowed 100 rupees and on 100 rupees I have paid an interest of 10 rupees. So I will pay 110 at the end of first year. Now let us take the second year. In the second year, in the case of simple interest, I charge an interest rate of 10% on 100 rupees. It is 110. Okay, but 110 and the amount which is all the amount is 110. To 110 I pay 10 rupees. I add 10 rupees. I get rupees 120. So at the end of 1 year I pay 120. At the end of 2 years I pay 120 rupees. Okay. Now in the case of compound interest, the principal varies. What happens? In this case we calculated it for 100, but now the amount now becomes the principal. I hope you understood this. In the case of simple interest, the amount was calculated at the end of the year, but the principal remained the same for all the calculations. But in the case of compound interest, the amount becomes the principal, and on 110 rupees, I charge 10%. So how much it is? It is 11 rupees. So 110 plus 11 is 121. So the amount at the end of the second year is rupees 120 under simple interest. Under compound interest it is 121. Okay. Now we will see at the end of the third year. At the end of the third year, in the case of simple interest, the amount is 100. So the interest is 10 rupees. The amount is 120 plus 10, which is equals to 130. Okay. Whereas in the case of compound interest, the interest is calculated on 121 that into 10 by 100. Okay, that is nothing but 12 rupees 10 paise. So the amount at the end of third year is 133. So here it is 130. In this case it is 133.10. So the interest earned by simple interest is rupees 30, whereas the interest earned by compound interest is 33.10. I hope you understood the difference. 10, 10, 10 we paid for 3 years, so it became 30. Whereas in the case of compound interest, it has added up to 33 rupees 10 paise. Note, the principal remains the same under simple interest, but it changes year after year under compound interest. I hope you understood this. In the case of compound interest, the principal changes, whereas in the case of simple interest, the principal remains the same. Okay. Now, how is compound interest calculated? To calculate the compound interest, we are given a formula. What is it? A equals to, A is nothing but the amount. Amount is equals to P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power n. What is P? P is the principal, R is the rate of interest, and n is the time or the number of years. Okay. Now, how is the compound interest calculated? It is calculated as amount minus principal. I hope you understood it. How is compound interest calculated? After you get the amount, you subtract it from the principal. That tells us the compound interest. Now, let us see this problem. Find compound interest on a sum of rupees 8,000 for 2 years at 5% per annum compounded annually. Whenever you get the word compounded annually, it means you have to use the formula for compound interest. If they say calculate the interest, calculate the simple interest, then you have to use the formula for simple interest. But when you see the word compounded annually, you have to make use of the formula for compound interest. What are we given? A equals to P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power n. So A equals to, what is the principal? It is 8,000 into 1 plus, what is the rate of interest? 5%. So 5 by 100, number of years is 2. Now this can be further written as 8,000 into 1, what is this? 1 plus 1 by 5 will go in this 2 times, so it is 20 the whole power 2, which is nothing but 8,000 into 1 plus, you can take the LCM, 1 plus 120 can be written as 21 by 20. I hope you understood it. That is 20, I will take the LCM 20. 20 plus 1 is 21 by 20 the whole square, which is nothing but 8,000 into 21 by 20 into 21 by 20. Both the zeros will get cut. 2 will go in this 40, 2 will go in this 20. Now we have to find what is 21 into 21, that is 441. Okay. So what is it? 20 into 441, which is nothing but, we will multiply this by 20. I have 2, 8, 8 and 0. So it is 8,820 is the amount. So what is the compound interest? Compound interest is nothing but A minus P. So 8,820 minus 8,000 is equals to 820. So compound interest is equal to rupees 820. I hope you understood how we solve this problem. Okay. Now we'll see another problem. That is, in this case we are asked to find the rate compounded half-yearly. Earlier we were given the number of years. Now if there's another thing, that is rate compounded half-yearly. That is, for every 6 months the interest will be calculated. In the previous problem, the interest will be calculated only once in a year. But now here in this problem, it is calculated half-yearly. That means in 1 year, how many times will they calculate? They'll calculate it 2 times, because 6 months, for every 6 months. So in a year there are 2 6 months, isn't it? 12 months divided by 2 is 6 months. So you have 2 6 months. So the interest will be calculated 2 times. I hope you get it. And the rate of interest, which is 8%, will become 4% because it is calculated half-yearly. I hope you get it. Whenever you get sums like this, compounded half-yearly, compounded quarterly and all, when you see the word half-yearly, the number of years is nothing but 2 half years. What do you mean by 2 half years? In 1 year there is 2 half years, that is 2 times 6 months comes, isn't it? So 2 half years. So n is equals to 2 and the rate of interest is 8. Now in this problem the rate of interest is 8%. So 8 by 2 is equals to 4%. I hope you get it. Whenever you get problems, the rate of interest will change and the number of years also. So only then you will get the correct answer. Now in this problem, rupees 10,000 for 1 year at 8% per annum compounded half yearly. Whenever you see the word compounded half yearly, the interest rate will become 8 by 2, which is equal to 4%, and n, which is 1 year, is nothing but 2 half years. Okay, and principal is 10,000. So we will write this as A equals to P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power n, that is 10,000 into 1 plus 4 by 100 the whole squared. So now this is nothing but 10,000 into what is 4 by 100? 4 by 100 is nothing but 1 by 25. Okay. Now what is 1 plus 1 by 25? 1 plus 1 by 25, if we take the LCM, it is 25 plus 1, which is 26 by 25. So 10,000 into 26 by 25 the whole squared. Now we can reduce this further as 400. Now this will reduce this further as 1 minute, 16 times. Okay, so I have to I have to do 16 into 26 into 26, which is nothing but, what is 26 into 26? It is nothing but 36, 3 2s are 12, 15, 2 6, 2 6 is 12, 4 and 5. So it is 16 into 676. Now if you multiply this, you will get 10,816. So what is the compound interest? Compound interest is nothing but 10,816 minus 10,000, which is equals to 816 rupees. So this is how we have to calculate the compound interest. I hope you get it. So this is how we have to calculate compound interest. Thank you, friends.